Before we begin, do me a favor. Turn off the lights. Find a comfortable spot and just sit still for a moment. This story needs a quiet mind, because not everyone can handle what they're about to hear. Imagine this. You're descending alone into a recently discovered ancient Egyptian tomb. The air is unnaturally cold, a stark contrast to the desert heat outside. The walls are covered in intricate carvings, but as you pass, you notice something unsettling. Among the hieroglyphs are stone eyes, hundreds of them, and they seem to watch your every step, following you deeper into the darkness. You finally reach the heart of the tomb, the Pharaoh's burial chamber. A magnificent golden sarcophagus stands in the center, shimmering in the beam of your flashlight. You're overwhelmed with a sense of discovery, of history. You raise your hand, your fingers trembling as you go to touch the cool, ancient metal, and from the thick darkness behind you, a whisper breaks the suffocating silence. Don't, you've awakened him. In that gut-wrenching moment, you realize you are not alone in this tomb, and whatever you just woke up is not human. This is a story about a man who didn't listen to the warnings. Archaeologist Daniel Ward was obsessed. He had spent his entire career, years of his life, searching for the lost tomb of King Amun-Ra. This wasn't just any pharaoh. Legends whispered that Amun-Ra hadn't died of natural causes. He was supposedly so powerful, so malevolent, that ancient priests sealed him alive inside his sarcophagus, claiming his spirit was too dangerous to ever roam the earth again. When Daniel's team finally discovered a hidden chamber buried deep beneath the shifting desert sands, it felt like the culmination of his life's work. He ignored every single warning chiseled into the stone entrance, clear as day. Let the king sleep. Those who wake him will never see the sun again. But Daniel was a man of science, of logic. He didn't believe in curses. He thought they were just stories made up to scare away tomb robbers. He was wrong. His disbelief started to crack on the very first night inside the tomb. While he was alone, carefully documenting the hieroglyphs on the chamber walls, he heard it. Footsteps echoing in the passage behind him. Slow, heavy, dragging, as if something was being pulled across the stone floor. He spun around, his heart pounding in his chest. But when he shined his light down the corridor, no one was there. Nothing. Just the sarcophagus in the distance. And was he imagining it? Or was the lid slightly ajar? He brushed it off. The desert heat can play tricks on your mind, he told himself. But the deeper he and his team ventured, the stranger things became. His flashlight would start to flicker and dim whenever he got close to the king's chamber, only to shine brightly again when he walked away. The video cameras they set up for security captured strange, fleeting shadows moving on their own when no one was there. At night, the local workers camped outside would complain of hearing faint chanting coming from beneath the sand. Ancient words they couldn't understand. It was on the third night that Daniel's scientific resolve completely shattered. While reviewing the day's work, he noticed something in a photograph of the main chamber floor. Fresh footprints, not from his team's boots. They were bare footprints, leading directly from the sarcophagus toward the back of the chamber, a solid wall with no exit. That's when the walls themselves started whispering. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't his imagination. It was distinct, spectral voices, swirling around him in the dark. You shouldn't have come. He is hungry. Run. Panic finally set in. Daniel scrambled to flee the tomb, to get back to the surface, back to the sun. But the passage he'd used to enter had collapsed. A cave-in had sealed him inside. The air grew colder and colder, a bone-chilling frost that felt like something was physically drawing the warmth out of his body. And then he saw it. A shadow emerged at the far end of the corridor. It was tall, impossibly tall, and wrapped in decaying linen burial cloths. Its eyes burned like dying embers in the pitch black. The Pharaoh had awakened. A voice, ancient and dry like scraping stone, echoed through the dark. You opened my grave. Now you will open yours. Days later, a search party found Daniel's video camera half buried in the sand just outside the collapsed entrance. His body was never recovered. And on the final, terrifying recording, just before the screen cuts to black, a deep, guttural voice whispers one final, chilling sentence: "The sun will never rise for you." Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for more tales from the dark. Stay safe out there.